Hi and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a video that I didn't really plan. I was just sitting down to do this and I thought I would film it, so it's not going to be like a highly edited video or anything like that. But it's the school holidays here in New Zealand, so both boys are at home with me most of the time, but they're actually at my mum's for a little bit. And this kind of job has been sitting in the back of my mind for a while that I wanted to go through it. This is not the first time I've gone through my keepsakes. I do this probably once a year where I go through, because I often throw artwork and things in here, and yeah, I like to go through it and just make sure I'm keeping only the things I really want. Right now everything is in 2 felt containers. They're too heavy for me to pick up, but this is one of the lids. I'll show you at the end what they look like. So these are kept under our stairs, so we don't look at them a lot. This is all of my kind of memory keeping things apart from photos. Photos are probably my most important memory keeping or keepsake. So we keep those in a shelf in our bedroom and we look through those a lot. And the boys really enjoy that. So that kind of tells me that photos are something that they enjoy and that is important to them. So that's what I focus on when I think about keeping keepsakes and memory kind of items for them, is photos. So I work really hard to make sure that I don't hoard photos on digital devices, that I print them out. I do keep some on a hard drive as well, because of course anything could happen. There could be a flood or a fire and we could lose the photos. But something I really concentrate on is having a really good, well organized, concise photo kind of system. So when the boys are older, they have their photo albums, they're in order. It's not just a mishmash of photos. They know who are in the photos. And that helps that we talk about them quite a lot, so they know the people in the photos. And if you're interested in knowing how I do that, I will link a vlog down below where I talk about my photo organizing system and how I make sure I keep up with printing them and things like that. So there's not a lot of photos in here. There's one photo project where if you've been a subscriber of mine for a while, you would have seen. So yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started. I want to do this quite quickly. My aim is, I have 2 boxes right now and I'd like to get it down to 1 box. So I'm not going to go too much into the background of minimalism and how we feel about it, but I'm not super attached to material items. I just keep a few things, but I feel like at the moment I have more than I need, and I honestly am keeping most of these for the boys, my 8-year-old and 5-year-old, and some of the stuff in here I really don't think they'll even want. So here we go. I'm just going to go in and get started. I'll show you the items and tell you whether I'm keeping them, maybe explain if I'm getting rid of things or why I'm keeping them. So yeah, I'm not going to blather on too much at the beginning of this video. I'm just going to get started. So the first thing I have in here are 2 brag books. Mike's mum actually gave me these. It's one for each boy, and I'm going to keep these because they've got some really great photos in them. And it's photos that we don't have copies of because she took the photos. So I am going to keep both of those. And then I have some of Lachlan's artwork. I'm just going to keep his artwork in a pile for now, and then I'll go through and decide the ones I want to keep. I have some school photos here that I'm not going to show, but I'm going to put those in a pile. I have 2 clear files here, so I am going to keep both of these. This is from a little business that I used to run, and if it was featured in magazines or anything, I cut clippings out, and that's still important for me. I started that from scratch and I was really proud of it, so I'm going to keep both of those. I have some more of Lachlan's artwork, some more photos. I have a little map here. This is a map that Mike drew of our old house when he was doing a treasure hunt for the boys. I really love that. That's something I'm definitely going to keep. What else do I have in here? I have some books here from the boys' kindergartens. This is one of the things I'm thinking of not keeping, or just not all of it, so I'm going to put that in a pile for now. More school photos. I have the boys' Plunkett books. So here in New Zealand you get a Plunkett book when your baby is born, and you can kind of talk about the stages that they go through and when they start crawling and walking and what they're like as newborns. That's fun. I don't think the boys are going to want to have these, but I think I will want to look back on them, so I'm going to keep both of those. Then I just have more drawings. I quite often throw drawings in here that I like, and then later on I'll go through it and decide which ones I want to keep. I have some books in here. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those. And then I have a little piece of material from my wedding dress. So Mike and I got married in Las Vegas. I have a few little kind of souvenirs from that. and my dress was really inexpensive, like less than $50. So I didn't keep it, but I did cut off a piece of the fabric just to keep, so I'm gonna keep that. Also from our honeymoon, we have these Mickey and Minnie ears. The sun's coming back in again now. I just had to close the blinds because the sun was blinding me. But anyway, we have these Mickey and Minnie ears from our honeymoon. I'm gonna keep these because I feel like we will want to take the boys back there when they're a bit older, and it would be fun to wear the ears that we wore on our honeymoon. So I'm gonna keep both of those. Another little souvenir from our wedding is these Elvis glasses. So we just have one pair. I'm gonna keep those. I have another baby book here, so I'm just gonna put that down in the pile. Another couple of books, so put those in the pile. What else is in here? I have a pillowcase that I used to have on my bed when I was little. I don't even think Glow Friends exists now. That's a pillowcase from when I was little. I don't have many things from my childhood, so I'm gonna keep this. Again, I'm not sure the boys will want it, but it is something that I really like, so I'm gonna keep that. Then I have something of Mike's. He's not big on keepsakes. He doesn't really care about keeping a lot of things like this, but this is his grandfather's cap, and I think Mike could actually wear this. I might wash it and see if he wants to wear it rather than just having it sitting in the box. So we have his grandfather's cap. Then I'm moving into baby items, and this is something that I've been thinking about how much of this stuff I want to keep. So I have two baby blankets here. This one is, which one's Lachlan's? This one's Lachlan's. My sister knitted both of these. If you're new to my channel, my sister is like a master knitter, and she knitted the boys' blankets. I feel like I do want to put these into like a vacuum sealed bag or something though. So this is Lachlan's, this is Tobias's. I'm going to put these in something that's going to look after them a little bit more, and this is something I definitely want to keep, so if the boys want to use them when they have kids, if they have kids, yeah, and since they're handmade, they just mean a lot to me, so I'm going to keep those. Then I do have a few items of baby clothes, and this is something I'm ready to pass on to someone else. I have this Hello World onesie that Tobias wore when we brought him home, and this little kind of cow and sheep and duck onesie that Lachlan wore. These are two things that I've kept for a long time, but I am just ready to pass these on. I'm not sure that if I kept them for the next 20 years that the boys would want to put them on their children, and in that time lots of other babies could use these, so this is something I'm willing to get rid of. It is one of the harder things to get rid of, but I feel good about it. I feel like I won't regret getting rid of these, and I'm happy for another mum to be able to use them for her baby. So these are two things that I will be passing on. Then I have some more baby clothes here. I have two little beanies. This is the one Tobias wore when he was born in the hospital, and this is one of Lachlan's. I'm not sure if my sister knitted this, she may have, but these two I am going to donate as well. But I am going to keep this one that my sister made and this little hat. So these are the only items that I am keeping for kind of baby clothes. I'm pretty sure both boys wore these. I know that Lachlan and Tobias both wore this one, and I'm pretty sure this one too. So two handmade items that I'm gonna keep, but that's all the baby clothes I am keeping. Then I have two more little items from my wedding. I don't know if I feel like I need to keep these. This one does say Graceland Wedding Chapel, and that's where we got married, and my sister-in-law gave me this. So I think for now I will keep both of those. I have my card from when I was born that was placed on the cot that I was in. I'm not going to show it because it has lots of my details on it, but I am going to keep that because, like I said, I don't have a lot of things from my childhood. I have another thing of Mike's here, his little rabbit that he played with. I have this mug. This was such a cool present that I gave Mike for his first Father's Day, and he used to take it to work and use it. I think when we moved it just ended up with the keepsakes, but I might ask him if he wants to take it back to work because it's quite a fun kind of conversation piece. So I'll try and show it to you. I just got this made online with a photo, and the photo is Mike. He's asleep. He looks like he's dead, but he's not. He's asleep on the couch with Lachlan when he was really little. So that's what I got Mike for his first Father's Day. So if you're looking for kind of a fun Father's Day gift, yeah, I thought that was really cool, so I might give that back to him. Otherwise I will keep it in the keepsake thing because I really love that. Then I just have a couple of cards that Mike gave me. He's given me a lot of cards over time, but I don't keep them all. I've just kept these two. So yeah, I'm gonna keep those. I also have a little note that he left me one day. I'm gonna keep that. And then I just have two Christmas cards, one from my mum and one that my niece made me that I really love the sentiment inside these cards. So I'm gonna be keeping both of those. Then we have a wooden shield. So in our old house, we had a pirate ship and a lot of handmade wooden toys that Mike made. This is actually one that his granddad made that was in his granddad's house. And I'm gonna keep that. This is pretty important to Mike, so it doesn't take up much space. I'm gonna keep that. Then right down the bottom, I just have a baby toy. I think I have a few baby toys, but I'm gonna keep this one. Both boys really liked it. I think this would be fun to hand on if we have grandchildren. And my niece also came a little while ago and I gave this a wipe down and she played with it. So it was quite cool to have a baby toy in the house that we could let a baby actually use. So I'm going to keep that as well. And that's the first box completely empty. So now I'm going to move on to the second box and then I'll work on the piles that I've created. So in this second box I have a couple of books. I'm going to put those in the book pile. I don't think I'm going to keep all of those. I have this, which, like I said, if you have been a subscriber for a while, you would have seen this before, but I did a photo a day project. I'm pretty sure I made it the whole year. I think the camera may have actually broken a couple of days before it finished, but it was the last year, well, it turned out to be the last year that we lived in our old house, in our old town. So it was actually really cool that I had kind of that last year in that house, and at the end I have photos of the sale sign outside our house and things. And I would really like to look through this more. So what I'm gonna do is keep it out. I'm gonna put it into a nicer folder and I'm gonna put it with our photo albums up on the shelf so we can look through it. But this is kind of the most kind of scrapbooking thing I have ever done. I had stickers and I used a Polaroid camera and it turned out really well. I really love it. And I'm really proud of keeping up for it for the whole year, a whole year in the boys' lives. They can fight over who wants this when they're adults, or maybe neither of them will want it, that's fine too, but I really love this, so I'm going to put it out so we can look through it more. So I'll do that sometime in the future, so I'm going to leave that out. Then I have the letters from you guys. So my book is actually full now, it won't fit in anymore, so I need to think of a different way to store these because this is something that I do want to keep. My YouTube channel is kind of like my other little business that I started from scratch. I started it from nothing, and while my YouTube channel isn't huge, I'm really proud of it, so I want to keep these. So I'm gonna have to think about some way of storing these. If you have any idea, I know that I've had a comment before of someone saying I could get a postcard holder and keep them in there, but some of them are bigger than postcards and there's letters, so maybe like a clear file, I'm not sure, but I'm definitely going to keep these. Then I have two other baby toys. I have this elephant that Lachlan really enjoyed. I'm not sure. I'm not sure about this. This is going to go in the maybe pile. But this little police car we're definitely going to keep. So that's going to go in the keep pile. I have the necklace I wore on my wedding day. I'm not a big jewelry person, so I haven't really worn this since, but I might wear it if we go out for dinner on our anniversary. It's going to be our 10-year anniversary this year, and we would have been together for almost 20 years, so a long time. And yeah, so I'm gonna keep that. Then the only other necklace I own is this locket, which I do actually wear sometimes. I might leave it out and see if I wear it more. This is a locket that my grandma gave me, my nana, so I'm gonna keep that. Then I have a little cross stitch that I made Lockie while I was pregnant. I might actually put this up on our wall of artwork, so I might leave that out. I have my bullet journal that I started the beginning of last year, and was it last year or the year before? I'm not sure, I think it was last year. I don't even know if I've written the year in here, which definitely would have been helpful. 2021, so last year. And the reason I want to keep this is because here in New Zealand we actually went back into lockdown last year because of the pandemic, and I have a lot of things in here that I did while we were at home, like recipes that I made, and I think it would just be fun to look back on. I also have a cross stitch on my little wall of art that I made in lockdown in 2020. I love that. I think that's such a good keepsake, but I have that on the wall. But I made that when we went into, what was it, like a month long or a 6 week long, it may have even been longer, lockdown. And I did that whole cross stitch when we were living with my mum because we were in between houses, and I really love having that as a keepsake, but that's on display all the time. So yeah, that's my two kind of pandemic things. Let me know in the comments if you have any souvenirs, is that the right word? Memory keeping items from the pandemic, because no matter how you feel about it, whether you feel like we should have done it or we shouldn't have done it, or we were too relaxed or too harsh, anything like that, it's still a pretty crazy time to live through. Not many people get to live through a pandemic and a lockdown. So I really want to keep this, maybe when my grandkids are older and they're learning about it, or it comes up at school, they could take this into class as like a show and tell item from something that's actually from 2020 and 2021. So I'm going to keep that. Then I have this. This is something else that I would really like to store a little bit better. It's Mike's grandfather's Air Force uniform, but just the jacket. Yeah, I feel like I want to store this a lot better. This is something that's really important to Mike, so I will be keeping that, but I'm going to look into a better way to store it. Then we also have a New Zealand Royal Air Force plaque, so that kind of goes along with the jacket. Then this is a recent item that I just kind of threw in here, but I've talked about it before. Mike made a handmade card game for the boys. I don't really know a lot about it. I also don't know a lot about Dungeons and Dragons and games like that, but I think it's kind of related to that, so I guess that's a if you know, you know thing. But he actually hand drew all the cards, and these are all ones that he redrew because he obviously got a lot better at drawing through the process, but these are really fun. I'm going to keep these. I'm going to put just a rubber band around them and I'll keep them in the box. Then the last two things is I have a Mother's Day card that Tobias made me for this past Mother's Day. I'm going to keep that. And then Mike and I's wedding certificate from Graceland Wedding Chapel. So yeah, I'm going to keep this. This might actually be something fun to put up on our wall. I may do that, so maybe I'll leave this out as well. So yeah, that's everything. This is what the box looks like that I keep it in. So I had two of these, but like I said, I'm going to try and get it down to one box. Now I'm going to go through everything, make a final decision of what I want to keep, and I'll show you at the end what I've gotten rid of, and if everything fits in the box, I'll show you that too. Okay, so the boys are home now. You might hear them playing downstairs, but I'm going to show you how everything turned out. Luna is also meowing around my feet. So first of all, I have this box that's empty now. I might just fold this down and put it under the stairs for next time I need some storage. Then I have Mike's granddad's hat. I'm going to hand wash this and he can wear it, especially in winter. Hello Luna. I think it would be really great. Then I have the boys' baby blankets. I've decided what I'm going to do with this, at least for now, is I'm going to hand wash them really carefully, and then I might actually just put them on the boys' bed so they can use them. So that's the plan for that. Then, like I said, I have our photo a day project, which I'm going to put into a more attractive folder and put it up on our shelf. Then Mike's mug, which I'm going to see if he wants to use. The little cross stitch, which I'm going to put up on our art wall. Then these are the things I'm donating. I found two little booties, well a set of booties as well, in amongst some papers. So I'm going to donate those two. They're still in really good condition. I will wash all of this before I donate it. But I've got the two onesies, two hats and the booties. I feel totally fine letting those go, which is great. Then I have two books which I'm going to donate, and I'll show you what I did with the other books. Then this is how the box of keepsakes is looking. So there's still plenty of room. So anytime I think that I have something I might want to keep, a drawing or I don't know, anything, I'll just put it in here, and then next time I go through I'll make sure I want to keep it. I did keep a couple of books in here. yeah, I kept a couple of baby books in here. And then these are the other books, which I'm actually just going to put into the boys' bookshelf. I think they would still really love reading these, especially Tobias. So why have them sitting in a box when we could be reading them? So those are going to go into our reading rotation. Then I have our wedding certificate, which I am going to put up on the wall, the inside of it. Then I have the papers that I'm going to get rid of. So things from kindergarten from both the boys that I've kept some things, but they're not going to want all of that kind of stuff. So I'm going to get rid of those. And then I just have Mike's granddad's jacket. So I'm going to Google what I could keep this in to make sure that it's kept in really good condition, because I think this would be quite a nice keepsake for the boys to have from it'll be their great grandfather. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in something else to make sure it stays really nice and doesn't get damaged. And then the last thing I have taken out of my keepsake box is my necklace. So I'm gonna try and wear it. I'm not much of a jewelry person, but I can always tuck it in if I don't want it out. But I don't know, I'm finding more and more, especially going through this box, that I just want to use things. Just having things stored away in the cupboard, if they can be used, it's just gonna create more memories. Like this necklace, if the boys found this in the keepsake box after I was gone, they would have no connection to it. But if they're like, hey, there's that necklace that mum wore every day, they're gonna have more of a memory attached to it. Same with the books. When they're older, these three will probably go back into the keepsake box, but they're gonna have even more of a memory of it, especially Tobias, because we're gonna read it. Yeah, and same with the baby blankets. Just them using it. My sister put hours of work into these, and I don't want them sitting in a dark box. And even if that means that they get worn out and maybe my grandchildren can't use them, at least the boys would have got a lot of use out of them, and again, they'll just have much more memory attached to them. Same with the photo a day project and Mike's dad's hat. If the boys see Mike wearing that, it's going to have more memories attached, and if they want to keep it, then that's fine too. So yeah, that's going to be it for this kind of impromptu decluttering video. I hope this has motivated you to maybe have a look at your keepsakes. I definitely think that people attach different importance to different items. So if keeping a whole wardrobe of your baby's first year is important to you, then nobody should tell you that that's not. But I think it is important to really think about the things that you're keeping, especially for your children, really thinking if they want it, or if you're going to want to look back on it. You can probably hear Lachlan because he's screaming downstairs. So yeah, I hope this has motivated you to maybe not go through and get rid of all of your keepsakes, but just really think about the ones that you are keeping and how you're storing them and why you're keeping them, and also maybe setting up a bit of a routine to go through them to make sure you are only keeping the things that you want. But yeah, like always, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.